Max for Live, also known as Max MSP, is a digital canvas, if you will, that people use to create their own audio effects, MIDI effects, and virtual instruments. And it's a program that comes with Suite and works seamlessly inside of Live. It can also be downloaded and purchased with any other version of the software that's available. All these devices and effects that have been built inside of Max are available to the entire user community, some at absolutely no cost. I really am not much of a programmer, but I love using Max. I tend to quickly exhaust my sound libraries or my effects because I'm constantly using them, and I'll just sit there listening to the same sounds over and over when really what I'm looking for is something that I don't have yet. And when that happens, I head over to Ableton.com and I see what's available to me. Most of the time, I find something that's free and exciting, and I load it in, and I will be on my way in the creative process. On top of that, the thing that I love about Max is that it's an open source community-based platform. If I wanted to create my own MIDI effect, let's say, I could create it inside of Max, publish it to the community, and somebody else could download it, open it up, and edit it, create it, and then publish it again. So you can see how this creative process, not only of making music, but building the tools that we use to make music, constantly continues and is evolving because of programs like Max. This all may seem confusing at first, but just know that you don't have to know anything about programming in order to use Max to make music. Since Max is a separate program to Ableton, we need to make sure that it's programmed and installed correctly before we can use it. So I've logged into my Ableton.com account here, and I'm going to the software section of my account. And I'm going to download Max for Live here, since it's a separate program, which is going to run inside of Live. So it's going straight to my downloads. And also I suggest you download the Max for Live Essentials pack, which is located under packs here in the free section. So if I clicked on free here and then I'm scrolling down to here's the Max for Live Essentials, I would download this as well, and it would go down to the download section. So I've got both programs currently downloading. So once both programs have downloaded, I'm going to go into my downloads here. And I'm going to run both programs. So I'm running the Essentials pack. Live's launching, opened it, and unpacking it for me. And I'll do the same thing for the Max for Live disk image here. So the installer pops up. I'm going to click on this icon and install the software. So now that we've got Max installed and the Essentials pack downloaded, we can find the Essentials pack in the Packs section of Live's browser. So here I'm unfolding it, and here are all the Max effects and devices that we downloaded. And also in the Max for Live section, we'll see audio effects, instruments, and MIDI effects. So there's a lot of redundancy here, and this should make a good amount of sense to you already. When we open the Max audio effects folder, you'll see a lot of the patches from the Essentials pack we just downloaded, such as the LFO, which stands for Low Frequency Oscillator, and the very popular Convolution Reverb, which is really cool, and I definitely suggest giving a try. And a lot of them have presets just like other audio effects that you can access by unfolding clicking on the triangle to the left of everybody's name. I want to put the Note Echo MIDI effect on the MIDI track with the arpeggiator on it. So I'm unfolding Max MIDI effect, and I'm going to select the track I want to drop the effect onto. And I'm going to choose this Note Echo by double clicking, and then you'll see Max launch. So it's going to be running in the background. So here the Max effect pops up on the device chain right after the arpeggiator and before the virtual instrument itself. So the first thing you'll notice that this Max effect has a completely different color scheme to it than the native Live effect, making it really easy to distinguish. And from here we can adjust parameters and change the sound just as we would any other Live device. Here's the delay, here's the feedback, and the sync rate. So I love this MIDI effect because it allows me to adjust the pitch of the delayed notes in addition to all the other traditional functions of a delay. So here I'm going to just solo this so we can take a closer look. Launch the clip. You'll hear how the different numbers are associated with the rate at which the note delays. And right here you can see that the pitch can also be adjusted. You can get pretty crazy with this. And after I press stop, there's the delay continuing to happen. I'm going to leave the pitches as they are, and I like them when I have this triplet delay on. I'm going to turn the feedback down considerably, not to infinity. This is probably a decent setting. And then I'm going to turn send A up a little bit. I'm feeling good about how everything is sounding. So it's a really cool effect. On the Note Echo, Max MIDI effect is a button which will take us into something called presentation mode. So it's this little tiny button here next to the hand, so hold on for the wild ride here. If audio is playing back while you're doing this, you're going to experience a lot of latency if you're monitoring an audio signal. But you'll see multiple windows pop up here, which will probably mean absolutely nothing to many of you. But what you're looking at is the actual guts of this MIDI effect. And this is Max in action. If this was an unlocked patch, we could edit things, create new pathways and orders of operations, and save our new MIDI patch and share it with the world. So in a lot of ways, it's like standing on the shoulders of giants. And then I'm just going to click out of the effect to exit presentation mode. Of course, you as a user may never need or want to go into presentation mode. You're just always going to have the power of Max at your fingertips. But the one thing I really wanted to impart to you about Max and Live is this. The ultimate connectivity and connectedness that we have as a community is something that is so important that is reflected in the tools we use in order to create. We as music makers are creators of culture, and the fact that the tools we use in order to accomplish that are a reflection of what we create and what we want to have and use is an ethos that I personally subscribe to. It's a user-first, community-based approach, and it's something that is building our community.